So it is a year since Liz Truss became Prime Minister, but the legacy of that, I think, Henry Hill, is still continuing, not least because Nadine Dorries has now finally resigned. Again, former, I should say my current TalkTV presenter colleague, former MP, of course. That by-election now on the 19th of October. What do you think is going to happen?
I'd be very surprised if the Conservatives retained the seat based purely on where we are in the polls at the moment. The Conservatives are about 20 points behind, and there isn't, as far as I know, in Mid Bedfordshire something like ULEZ, a really powerful local issue where, crucially, the Conservatives were able to run against Labour in government, which is what they had in Sadiq Khan as mayor. So I think it will be a very tough by-election. There's a chance that they come through. I think one of the problems the opposition parties have at the moment is that it isn't obvious whether or not the Liberal Democrats or Labour are the clear leader, which means that they're both going for it, and that means that we won't.
And I suppose the Conservatives are hoping, Henry, to come through the middle if that splits the vote.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, the good thing for the Conservatives is if they do lose it in a by-election, there's a fairly good chance a seat that's safe comes back to them in a general election.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. What's also interesting is, I mean, I get the email from your excellent website, Conservative Home, every single day. And every month you do totting up, asking your members who their favourite Conservatives are. And Ben Wallace has consistently been the top now for, I think, over a year, maybe even longer, you'll know. But now it's Kemi Badenoch because Ben Wallace isn't in that survey anymore because he's no longer in the Cabinet.
I mean, you've summed it up as well as I ever could. That's exactly what's happened. Ben Wallace had a complete iron grip on the top spot. He was consistently, I think, 10 or 15 points higher than the second place candidate. He's now resigned. Kemi Badenoch is now top, but as you say, it's because Ben Wallace is gone. Her score is nowhere near what his score used to be. And it's sort of telling that whereas previously under Theresa May, we had some ministers with truly satanically unpopular ratings, which suggested Conservative activists were really angry about different parts of government policy. Now we just have we see the air going out of the government's ratings. Nearly everyone's ratings.
Is this just a bit of a shrug from your readers, perhaps just a bit of a shrug to sort of say, well, look, we know the Conservatives are probably going to be out of government after the next election if the polls are to be believed. But interesting, I'm sure the people around Kemi Badenoch and others will look at that very, very closely in terms of saying, well, hold on, if the Conservatives are out of government, there's going to be a leadership election. Yeah,
the survey is watched very closely by people in the cabinet, but we have had people potentially trying to game it in the past. So it
really,
yeah, you won't believe the number of times we suddenly find an awful lot of votes coming from a few email addresses in the past, but we always catch them. But yeah, absolutely, this will be a sign for some people about the membership expect us to lose the next election. Who are they going to potentially enshrine in a leadership contest after that happens?
Henry, great wisdom as always. Henry Hill there, Deputy Editor of Conservative Home. Thank you to him.